Benji and the Storm of Sadness. Benji had never seen the sky cry like this before. Dark clouds rolled across the horizon, swallowing the sun in a gray hush. Rain fell in heavy sheets, drumming against the rooftops and turning the streets into shimmering rivers. But this storm was different. It wasn't the usual rain that made the world wet. This was a storm of sadness. It began quietly in the small town of Willowbrook. People walked with slumped shoulders, their eyes vacant and lips trembling. Laughter seemed to vanish, replaced by whispers of worry and sighs that hung in the air like mist. Benji, a curious 10-year-old with a mop of untamed hair and an insatiable curiosity, noticed it first in his own heart. One moment he had been playing with his dog, Russell, and the next he felt a hollow ache he couldn't explain. "Benji," his mother said, her voice unusually thin. "You've been quiet all morning. Are you feeling all right?" I don't know," Benji admitted. "It's like there's something heavy in my chest, and everyone else seems to feel it too." His mother frowned, but said nothing, as if she, too, feared naming the storm. Determined to understand, Benji grabbed his red raincoat and Russell's leash. "We have to find out where this sadness is coming from," he whispered to his dog. Russell wagged his tail as if he understood perfectly. They followed the river that wound through Willowbrook, now swollen with rain, reflecting the gray clouds like a shattered mirror. The town felt smaller somehow, the streets tighter, the houses hunched over as if they were hiding. Benji noticed something strange. Wherever the storm's sadness touched, colors seemed to fade. Flowers drooped, paint peeled, and even the birds stayed silent. At the edge of the town, under an ancient willow, Benji saw a figure standing alone. The figure's shoulders shook, and a faint glow seemed trapped around their head like a cloud of sorrow. Benji approached carefully. "Hello?" he called. The figure turned, revealing a woman with hair like silver rain and eyes deep as midnight. "Are you causing this storm?" "I'm the keeper of sadness," she said, her voice both gentle and terrible. "Every once in a while, the world becomes too heavy. I release a storm so people can feel their sorrow, so they may heal. But everyone is so sad." Benji protested. "Isn't there another way?" The keeper knelt, looking into Benji's eyes. "Sometimes, young one, a storm is necessary. But perhaps you might help me." Benji's heart thumped. "How?" The keeper extended her hand, and from her palm floated a tiny droplet of glowing water. "This is a seed of hope. You must carry it into the hearts of those who feel most lost. Only then will the storm's tears turn into rain that nourishes instead of breaking." Benji took the droplet carefully. It was warm, like the sun on his skin, and it pulsed with a gentle rhythm. "I'll do it," he said. Russell barked as if cheering him on. He ran back into town, slipping through puddles and dodging branches tossed by the wind. At the bakery, he gave the droplet to Mrs. Calhoun, who had been staring blankly at the floor for hours. She touched it, and her eyes brightened. At Disco, he placed it on the windowsill, and laughter peeked through where silence had ruled. Slowly, Benji moved through Willowbrook, each touch of the seed lifting the weight in people's chests. By nightfall, the storm began to change. The heavy cloud still lingered, but the rain softened, turning into sparkling drops that reflected the first stars of evening. The town, though wet and weary, seemed alive again. People whispered to each other with cautious smiles. Benji, drenched and exhausted, climbed the hill overlooking Willowbrook. The keeper of sadness appeared beside him, her silver hair glinting in the moonlight. "You did well," she said. "You reminded them that even in sorrow, hope can bloom. Remember this, Benji. Sadness is not to be feared, but shared, understood, and transformed." Benji nodded. He felt the storm's weight lifting from his chest, replaced by something lighter, something like courage. Russell barked happily, shaking rain from his fur. Together, they watched as the town below began to shine. Tiny lights flickering in windows, as if each one contained a heartbeat of hope. The storm of sadness had passed, not destroyed, but healed. And Benji, small yet brave, had discovered that even the heaviest rain could bring life, and at sometimes a single droplet of hope was enough to change the world.